Trying.
You did good. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. You know how much I love my musical guests. They all bring such great talent and a great story. I love this particular title that our guest Jeiris Cook came up with, Music is Therapy. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn all about him and his music. Welcome, Jeiris. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're looking good. You got good lighting, much better than me. We talked about that. Your room's set up. It's musical. Oh, Lord. Anyway, at least one of us looks good, and it's not me. So tell us a little bit about you. They love origin story. You know, we want to know if you grew up performing in front of your family or if music came later in life. So give us the 411.
Singing has always been with me. That's the lifelong sort of passion. I started singing in the church, but we weren't regular church goers. So I basically just sang where I could, whether that would be in the shower, maybe in my grandmother's living room. And then later in life, I was in every choir I could find, every band, every play, whatever. If it involved singing, I was 100% there. And then about 5 years ago, I started playing guitar. So the guitar is a later in life kind of thing. And the reason
why did you all of a sudden decide 5 years ago?
So for I would say about 10 years, I actually took a step back from music. I didn't sing, I didn't write, I didn't do anything. And during that time, I went back to school. I started a family. I got married. So music sort of took a back seat. And not to say that I wasn't happy with the direction that my life was going, but when you don't do something that you love, and it keeps tugging at you, you start to feel empty. And that's how I was feeling. I felt like I was less than who I was. So my sister-in-law, she had a guitar that had been sitting in the corner for like 15 years or something like that. So I said, can I use it? Can I borrow it? She said, fine, go ahead. And I remember just spending like hours and hours with this thing, not even knowing how to play, but because I was making music again, it was so therapeutic. Yeah. And I've never looked back since. So, the singing combined with the fairly recent guitar play has really opened up some doors. Yeah.
Well, tell me about that. I'm curious, when you pick up an instrument like that, did it change the way you wrote songs? Did it change the way you performed? Because now you have another thing in front of you when you're doing it. It's not just the microphone. Did it change the way you songwrote or performed?
Absolutely. And it, not only that, but it also changed the music that I listened to. Because before I started playing guitar, it was mostly R&B, blues kind of stuff. But once I started playing guitar, I got into folk. I got into classic rock, country, pop country, mainly because, in R&B music, guitar, it's there, but it's not like a central sort of instrument. Right. And because I'm listening to all of these different types of music, that definitely had an influence on my songwriting, the creation, the lyrics of the songs. And it's opened up, I can't tell you how many doors it's opened up for me just from picking up an instrument.
I think I'm kudos to you, because I think I've always wanted to play an instrument, but I'm afraid that at my age, it probably wouldn't go so well. But you did it later in life and you picked it up. And I love that. I think that's so cool. I think it's very cool part of your story. How about the 2020 pandemic? How did that impact you career-wise?
Oh, man. It put a damper on things, like I think with most musicians. However, I will say my one sort of saving grace was that before the pandemic hit, I was huge on live streaming before that. I was on Twitter. I was on Instagram Live. I was on an app called Periscope. It's now defunct. But I already had a sort of fan base, and I already sort of knew what I was doing, whereas other musicians who had just been doing the gigging live, now they're coming over online and sort of figuring everything out, and I already had everything in place. So I just did more
ahead of the game.
Yeah, I was ahead of the game. So I did more of that, and I was able to, sort of survive.
And how are you feeling about 2021? Are you seeing dates come back where you can perform? Is it becoming a little more open? Because we talk about it on the show all the time. I feel like the arts, especially performance art, just took such a hit during 2020, and you really had to pivot. Like, thank God you had already started to do and already learned it. But a lot of people didn't really know what to do, and so they're all looking forward to 2021 opening back up. What are you seeing?
So for me specifically, it is literally like gangbusters. I mean, because people want to be out, they don't want to be confined by the four walls that they've been in for the past year. People are celebrating just because they're celebrating being outside. They're celebrating the opening, and maybe they redid their patio. I just got a private event for that. Parties, anything and everything that's outdoors, I am there, and I am trying to figure out how to be in two places at once.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, yeah,
a really good problem to have.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're going to perform. Is this a song you wrote? What was the impetus behind it? Set it up for us.
So the song that I'm going to play for you guys is called Dreams, and the interesting thing about that was I wrote it last year. Right before the pandemic started, but I had surgery. I had to get some wisdom teeth taken out, and my jaw was wired shut for about 2 months. So I was on a strictly liquid diet. That meant that I couldn't sing, but it didn't stop me from singing. So I partially recorded this song with a wired jaw, and then the other part of it, I was able to finish once I had everything. So it's called Dreams, and it was sort of like my sort of a letter to myself to keep pushing, even though you can't really sing like you want. Figure it out. And
I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to take myself off and make you front and center.
All right.
Jeiris Cook, everybody.
Lately, I've been thinking about a dream. And I hope one day, someday, that I achieve all my dream. Basically, yeah. So I've been focused on what I want. My need to breathe don't exceed my hopes. Now I'm just playing. Naysayers try to come through, try to drag me down with the excuse that it's much too hard to get a real job and take what you can get. But I really don't subscribe to living a life that ain't written. I know best to get upside. Let's take the road, let's try. I don't want a reality, linked to the chains of mediocrity, and so I try to break the possibility and reach beyond what comforts me. Lately, I think about all my dreams, and I hope one day, someday, that I achieve all my dreams. Basically, yeah. Through the storm and through the rain, I gave it time and found my strength. And I made mistakes, every cut and straight. I bend but don't break. I fear of a life but never try. Give up the dream. Time goes by. I'd rather die than go on. Destroy this ride. Cause I said just what I wanna be. Just what I wanna do. Nobody can take from you. Nobody else can do what you do. Yeah. I determine the life I lead and what that looks like. Now I succeed. Now I'm on the path to my destiny and keep pace to steady beat. But lately, I think about all my dreams. And I hope one day, someday, that I achieve all my dreams. Basically, yeah. So I've been focused on what I'm on. Yeah. I've been focused on what I'm on. Yeah. But hold on to your dreams. Don't give up easily. Fight through adversity. Believe in your dreams. Yeah, yeah. I think about all my dreams. And I hope one day, someday, that I get achieve all my dreams. Basically, yeah, baby.
That was so good.
Thank you.
It's amazing to me. I say it every show. I pull myself off because what if you're bad? And my face wouldn't hide it. I immediately loved it. First of all, you smile when you sing, and people respond to that. That's a beautiful thing. I got it very, to me, I close my eyes a lot just to listen to the music. I felt like it was Barry White-ish, just very mellow, soulful, but I felt myself tapping my foot too. So good. That's when you sing, when you're performing, and it's something that you wrote or co-wrote. Are you feeling the emotion then? Is that what's coming out? What are you feeling when you're actually performing that song?
You know what? I spent so much of my life, especially as I was sort of developing my voice, holding back. And especially when I write my own stuff and I perform it, I'm always telling myself in my head, Jeiris, just let go. Like, if there's a note that you want to do, just do it. Like, sometimes I'll hear it in my head before I sing the note, and I'll just say to myself, like, don't be afraid. Just do it. Just don't be afraid, because people, they're not here for a perfect performance. They want to feel something. And so I constantly remind myself to do that. Yeah.
Well, you felt it. I felt good. I think that's what you feel when you listen to that song.
Yes.
That was so good. I really, really liked it. I liked it a lot.
Thank you so much, Ted. I appreciate it.
The audience can't see me, but you can see me. So if you ever look at me and I'm moving around, that means it's good. All right. So I want people to go out. I want people to support you. I want people to find you, download, buy your music, follow you, find out where you're going to be. What's the best way for them to do that?
So you can find me Facebook under Jeiris Cook Music, just the way. So you can also go to my website, jeiriscook.weebly.com, which is scrolling down there on the bottom. And you can also find me on Twitter as well, Jeiris Cook. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
You're amazing, man. Come back anytime you want to perform for the audience. They love it. We want you guys to get out and support our artists. 2020 was a crazy year. Let's get back to performances and helping our artists, our creatives like Jeiris, fulfill that dream and send the message they have. So thank you so much. Go to jeiriscook.weebly.com, or you can find them on social media. Thank you, Jeiris, so much. It was so good.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. Well,